Listen, man, shout out to Facts and Stacks podcast. Yo, you dropped the camera. You got to keep it up, baby. I got you. Stop it. Let me show you how to operate. 267. You see me down here in DC. Stacks and Facts podcast. Check them out. 267 Facts and Stacks podcast.
Okay.
Subscribe right now. Check them out. Tune in, and it's just like that.
Back in It'll Make It Clear, it's your host Rob Lowe bringing y'all season 5, episode 20. Welcome back to Facts and Stats. This is the 49-0 episode for a certain team. I ain't going to tell y'all which one yet, but I am going to tell y'all the menu for the day is me breaking down all these NFL wildcard weekend games and giving y'all 3 things that the losing teams need to be back and better than ever next season. But we starting off in Cincinnati. The Raiders was playing the Bengals. This was a good game right here, y'all. The Bengals got off to a hot start. Joe Burrow was on time. He was on rhythm. One play, though, he did get some help from the refs. He was rolling out to the sideline. Looked like he might have stepped out of bounds. The ref blew the whistle and the ball was in the air. Tyler Boyd caught the John back at end zone, confused in the mug. They gave him the 7 points, though. Other than that, they was cooking. Shout out to Jamar Chase. Hey, he played like a monster, pushing people off, like, break it up. Let me get that. Catching all types of different passes. He had 16 yards on the day. My fault. I got to short you one. I wish I could have added and made it 117. But, hey, I am going to give you a big-time shout-out by saying, pre-draft, I had Devontae Smith over you. My thing, and why I got him at number 3, I feel like he can be number 1 out this class, but I wanted to see him without Joe Burrow, without Justin Jefferson, play this season. I don't knock him for not coming through with the Rona and all that, but I just wanted to see that because I can't really think of a number 1 receiver who was that short. I was wrong 100%. That boy then came out and dominated the NFL for real in his rookie season. On the other side, the Raiders, they started off 3-0. They started off with a field goal, but that was their problem. They was moving the ball up and down the field all day, but at the same time, they was only getting 4 field goals for real. 4 field goals, 4-3. That ain't going to get you nowhere. And that got them to a 26-19 score, but they did have the ball and a chance to make a late drive. Now, I did pick the Raiders. I had Derek Carr going down there and making a late drive to win the game. So when they got the ball, I should assume that they're going to do it, right? Wrong. Not just because I said it. I was watching the football game, and they hadn't been getting the ball into the end zone. So what happened? Pick right on the goal line, right in the spot that they had been getting stuck in the whole game. 6-19 Bengals. Big shout out to Joe Burrow, number 1 quarterback in Bengals history. Now, shout out, I am athlete too. But 3 things that they need. Third thing, we'll start for 3. Replace Henry Ruggs. A lot of people know the story of what happened with him. Not going to get into that, but he was becoming a better football player and really just coming into his own for real. So they need to replace that speed, that deep threat. Number 2, a defensive leader. Any position for real. They just need somebody that's going to bark out them signals, that's going to get everybody in position and check everybody when they need to be checked. And number 1, they need a top-tier cornerback. Somebody that's real live going to want to lock down these number 1 wide receivers and go up against these quarterbacks like Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes that they got in their very own division. We're going to stay in the AFC for the next game, though. Patriots went to Buffalo to play the Bills. Now, I got to start off this game by saying the Bills got some underrated weapons on their squad. Shout out to Isaiah McKenzie, bruh. Little fan. Every time I look up, he making a play on somebody. You feel me? The Bills, they 6th in rushing this season? Make sure real quick, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to smooth with it. Yeah, they is 6th in running because I'm smooth with it. They 6th in running on the year, and it's not because they got a lot of running back work for real. I got to give a big shout out to Josh Allen on that front. He had a 30-plus yard run on the first possession, just took off on him, got up out of there, and that had the game looking a little shaky right off the break when it's 7-0. Mac Jones feeling the pressure. The Patriots feeling the pressure. He threw one good pass, and the next two good ones he threw got dropped. You feel me? They would have. The first one was like 40 yards. The next one was about another 10. They would have been right there on the door knocking to try to make it 7-7. They drop it. So Mac like, all right, forget it. I'm going to run. Boom. Got the 3rd and 10. I'm like, okay. I like that. I like that mentality, Mac. You ain't going to rock with me. I'm going to do it myself, but you can't do it by yourself the whole game. The very next play, he threw the bomb to the end zone. It got picked off by the safety, and it wasn't looking good for the Patriots right then, because that was all that I could really say that's good about the Patriots for real, for real. I mean, Josh Allen on the other side threw 2 pretty touchdowns. I thought I was about to say bombs, but they were just touchdowns. You feel me? Pretty jumps. One, he was running all the way to the sideline, rolling. You feel me? Throwing the jump off his back foot. Good touch to the back of the end zone. Knox caught the jump pretty. Got that touchdown. And the next one, both of them was good coverage for real. But the second one, off the little post route, he beamed the jump. The cornerback was right there, the same line, whatever. He was right there. Perfect placement. So I got to give a shout out to Buffalo and them Bills. They won that one 47-17. Speaking of blowouts, flying or dying. I got to get ready for this one. The BUCS look good. The BUCS the champs. The BUCS is the champs, and nothing else needs to be said with that. Nothing. They don't need no more praise. They look good. They doing their thing still. But to these Eagles, though, no Josh Sweat on defense. That was a big loss. But he don't play offense. And it took the offense 20 minutes of a 60-minute game to get their first down, the first completion for Jalen Hurts. Nothing was moving out there. 3 and outs, no crock pot offense. They making us do the microwave. We losing the flavor. I mean, Quez Watkins did get a couple of bombs from Hurts. Bomb tries, because, I mean, Jalen Hurts was inaccurate for real when he was trying to throw the ball down the field. Anything past like 10, 15. Even the 10 and 15, he wasn't really anticipating on a couple of throws like he should for real. And so he missed Quez Watkins, didn't even look for Devontae Smith for real, like they was beefing or something. Speaking of beefing, though, I mean, Devontae and Jalen Reagor was on the sideline arguing with each other, and I'm like, okay, I get it. The wide receiver, maybe he was getting on Devontae Smith about the block that he was supposed to throw on the little screen route or whatever that got blown up. Okay, cool. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why is Jalen Reagor arguing with Devontae? This is the wrong man to be arguing with him. Wrong man, because I still got Justin Jefferson right here, bruh. And you out there not making plays on offense. You're arguing with Devontae Smith, and then right after you argue with him, you muff the punt. Drop the jump. Looking at the referee like, bruh, you ain't waiting for no fair catch. And then when you tried to catch it, you bobbled the jump. You could get hit. Positive for a second. Shout out to Dallas Goedert. Shout out to Kenneth Gainwell. They was running hard, bruh. the whole game, every time that they got the football. I told y'all about the last meeting, 28-22, how it ain't feel that close. This game ended up 31-15. It wasn't that close. And I felt like we was tanking the last time we lost because we ain't run the football, right? Guess how many carries Miles Sanders got in this game? 7. Sound familiar? Troy Aikman up in the booth coaching the team better than Nick Sirianni coaching it on the field. Wide receivers wide open. They playing the soft coverage or whatever. But he trying to be too smart for the room again. Try to be too smart for the room again. It ain't work. My 3 ain't going to work for this one because I want to get to one specific thing to close it out. That's the big question. It's going to be the big question for the offseason for the Eagles. Will Jalen Hurts be back? Now, Jalen Hurts, I don't got your record right there because I flipped to the wrong page. You see, that's what happened when you try to be smooth and flip the joint with nobody looking. Just pay attention, people. Jalen Hurts' record is 10-14, right? Now, I'm a wins guy. I'm not a stats guy. I'm not going to throw your stats up out there because I don't care how you do it. But from what I've seen with your play, I'm not convinced, bruh. I see some good things with your game. But am I convinced that you're going to be the long-term answer for the Eagles at quarterback? Not necessarily. But I am impressed with your leadership, qualities, you know what I'm saying? The team was down and out. You got them up. They spare us up enough to get into the playoffs, right? So I think definitely earned another shot. And I feel like you earned a shot at being an unquestioned starter for next season. I'm going to tell you real rap, real live, bruh. You get a chance to get a top-tier quarterback, all that's out the window. Anything can happen. But if you ask me, there's no top-tier quarterbacks coming out in this draft right now. And I'm about to get to him next, but I don't want Jimmy G on my squad, bruh. I don't want no quarterback that they hoping is going to be better than Jalen Hurts. They think it's going to be better than Jalen Hurts. If you're going to replace Jalen Hurts, make it a definite. If you can't make it a top tier, build chemistry because that'll be the most important thing for the squad. Still in the NFC, we're going to go to the other NFC East team too. The 49ers was in Dallas to play the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I knew this game was 10-0 before I even got home, right? Was at work, talking all type of football stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to leave work, my man's come back up the steps, back to work, like, oh yeah, it's 10-0 on that Cowboys San Fran game. Who try and bet on San Fran because he a Cowboy fan and all that. Man, as he went back to one, try and bet him. I say, hell nah, I ain't putting my money on the 49ers. Should I have done that? I'm about to tell you. I mean, Ayuk and Elijah Mitchell was making plays for the 49ers. Cowboys was cold early. Their offense wasn't making plays. CeeDee Lamb may have a catch till about the fourth quarter. The penalties was killing the Cowboys. 49ers blitz was killing the Cowboys. I was loving that part too. Blitz was killing the Cowboys. And even without Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, they 2 top defensive players, their defense still held up. They got a big-time interception coming out in that third quarter, set up the Deebo Samuel running. I told y'all that boy Deebo Samuel, 14 had a receiver, 8 rushes. He could set it up and get the salute to Deebo on this day. But the game wasn't over like I hoped it was at 23-7. Jimmy G missed Ayuk on the little corner route. On the third down, he was wide open. Late in the third quarter, then coming in the fourth quarter, he threw a pick. He threw an interception that got the Cowboys right in position. Cash in on Dak with the rushing touch. Reminded me of Dak from that football team game at FedEx Field when he threw that pick 6 got the squad back into the game. So what's the score at this point? It's 23-17, and Dallas had one more chance. But just like the Raiders, I ain't believe in it, even though I picked them to win the game because I was watching the game with my own two eyes. I mean, they made a couple plays, but then they called a quarterback draw. Quarterback get the snap, run right up the middle with 10 seconds left and no timeouts. Good thing they ain't pull a Chris Webber out there. But time ran out because they tried to quick snap the Joan official, got to touch the ball. I know that I'm an official, not an NFL official, but I know that. And that's how they lost the game, by that very same score. So I'm going to get into the three things that the Cowboys need to be back and better than ever next season. Number 3, a new owner. Jerry Jones, get your ass up out of there, bruh. It's time. You have made a lot of bread, and I understand you don't want to let go of the bread. You don't want to let go of the fame. But I want to let you know one thing, bruh. You could be Jerry Jones from wherever you at for the rest of your life. And you could be way more reckless with this. And you get a lot less blame because I guarantee you ain't played one snap. But I ain't the only person that's going to wish for a new owner for the Cowboys next season. Well, am I wishing? I mean, as a host, I'm wishing for him. But you know, don't listen to me. Number 2, middle linebacker. I feel like they need a middle linebacker to solidify that. Micah Parsons, I mean, they be having him at middle, and he be in the gap trying to blitz over the guard. I'm like, bruh, stop with that BS. He an edge pass rusher. He need to be on the edge, rushing the passer 100% of the time. Could drop him back from that spot. But if you got a solidified middle linebacker, y'all be straight. Y'all need a safety, too, somebody to protect from the big plays up over the top just because, like, especially because of Trayvon Diggs. A lot of picks, but a lot of guessing, too. So it was one time where I think Kyle Shanahan might have drew this up, or it was Ayuk on the fly. He ran a crossing route all the way up the field. And because Trayvon is trailing, trying to undercut and get the interception, basically trailing, let's say, a wide receiver running at you and you trying to check him, right? Over the top, you making sure you stay in front of him. He don't get behind you. But if you trailing him, you literally behind him trying to stay right on his hip and you're going to speed up as the ball come in. But if he turn up field, wide open. That joint was open, got that, and I feel like maybe a safety might have been able to see that, believe that, clue on that, and go get that. So I'm going to say that they need a safety free or strong, probably free, because he'll play in the background, right? But last game to wrap it up. Steelers went to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Los. I hope you had your favorite drink or your favorite drink on a bad day. I don't know, because you know, if you having a bad, would you want your favorite? Do that make it better, or would you just want something to get you? Los, holla at me on that, because this show was a little ugly out here. I mean, if you missed the first quarter, you ain't missed much. The only thing that really happened was T.J. Watt batting a pass down and Steelers got a pick. And then right then, in the beginning of the second quarter, they get a fumble. Derek Williams fumbled the joint twice. T.J. Watt scooped the joint up. He run it back, 7-0. Break the ice. He the defensive player of the year, by the way, like I told y'all. Lowe's probably celebrating if he got his favorite drink. He on his favorite type of time. But that was over. Pat Mahomes got up in his bag after that. He gave him the softball touchdown, the wind-up jump, the up underneath for the score. That was smooth. You already know he was starting to cook up. And then after that, he gave a little Big Ben pump fake, the little classic off the double move. Pringle was running. Get you a can of Pringles on this Monday. You feel me? He got the touchdown on him. And then you come back on the 3rd and 20, late in the half. This was the one that probably, I don't like saying you broke somebody's heart, killed somebody's spirit, but bruh, this was one where even I was like, oh, this halftime 14-7. He threw the bomb. I forgot who it was to, but that jump connect 21-7 at the half. It's looking like a blowout out there. I want to shout out to Jared McKinnon, though. He got 61 yards. I remember him from his Minnesota Vikings days. I'm like, is that Jared McKinnon out there? Balling, I see you, fool. When you get 61 yards rushing for the Chiefs, that feel like 100 because you just adding to whatever Mahomes at. I don't got to throw his stats out to big him up. We know who Pat Mahomes is, and if you don't, keep watching these playoffs. And if you don't know who my man Andy Reid is, keep watching too because he was cooking crazy. Had all type of trick plays out there on him. The one with Tyreek Hill running zigzag in the backfield, and then they snap the jump, and Pat Mahomes dive. They ain't want to give him that touchdown, so he like, oh, my fault. Let me reach deeper in the Santa bag of tricks. You feel me? Pull out while I throw the jump to the offensive lineman for the touchdown. Boom. It was a wrap for the Steelers. I mean, they had a little ray of hope just because I was still watching the game. Not that I was rooting for him for real. But when I seen Najee Harris fumble for the first time, he ain't fumbled at all at Alabama in college. First time since high school he fumbled. Mahomes hit the easy little bomb to Tyreek Hill. I knew it was a wrap. 35-7. The final score was 42-21. And the Steelers just got cooked the whole day in Kansas City. So I'm going to say the third thing they need, number 3, is a top-tier cornerback. They need somebody out there, just like I said earlier for the Raiders, that's going to guard them number 1 receivers and go up against these top quarterbacks. Number 2, any offensive lineman. They need to get about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My fault. Y'all know how to count. They need good offensive linemen because the way they O-line played this year, it ain't live up. But I'm still not going to give that as an excuse to Big Ben. We all know what time it is. We all know it's over. He had a good push to get him in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? But Big Ben, man, hope you got some hobbies, man. I do think a team would take if they wanted you, but let me just say it like this. I do think another team is going to give you a chance if you want to still play. But you had a great career, bro. You were a Hall of Famer. First ballot. Let it go. First thing they need, new quarterback. And we'll see if the Steelers can get back to being the Steelers. Facts and stats, always facts and stats, though. Low. Peace.